Hey, how's it going, gamers? Daybreaker Rein here, coming at you through your video scope as usual with one of my all-time favorite Super Nintendo video games, and that is the game called Demon's Crest. This game has been a marvel of mine, and it is actually one of the more sought-after Super Nintendo games at the moment. It's freaking insane how expensive this game is now. Thankfully, I do actually have a physical copy of it. I'm super ecstatic about that, but I wouldn't be able to resell it. The label is in very much need of repair and refinishing. I think you can actually, if I remember right, there is a way to actually get like reprinted labels, which I might actually have to do to like refurbish the game so it actually looks nice, because the original label is just torn to absolute crap. But I can't complain. I got the game super cheap when at the time when I did get it, so I can't really complain that the label's not in perfect condition. And I wasn't really looking to resell it anyways. This is one of my all-time favorite Super Nintendo games. I don't know what it is about this game, but man, when I found out about it, I resonated with it. I latched onto it, and I absolutely just love this game. And it's so awesome that I know the game's not super well received in the FGC, but Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I love the fact that Firebrand was actually a playable character. I wish he kind of had some of the stuff that he could have done in Demon's Crest per se. I know that it was more of he was more akin to his actual like Ghost and Goblins form than it was his Demon's Crest form. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. I'm still glad that he was a playable character. I absolutely just think this game is awesome. I didn't know it was actually a spin-off game of the Ghost and Goblins series. Like, I had no idea the first time I ever played it. Like, and I didn't even know the first time playing it that this game was actually a trilogy. That there are two other games before this. That there's one on NES and one on Game Boy. Gargoyle's Quest, I believe, is the second one, and then the game Gargoyle is the first one. Yeah, crazy. Never would have thought that this game was actually a trilogy of games. But this one is so different from the actual Gargoyle games. I remember playing Gargoyle, or trying to, and it's more akin to like an RPG, you know, top-down exploration and all that. So it was definitely crazy to think that like this actually fell in the same series, and this continued actually the series as well. So definitely just a strange mishmash. Like, it's crazy that they went in such a different direction for this game, but I'm so glad that they did, because I absolutely love it. It's side-scrolling, you know, exploration, Metroidvania style at its finest. It's kind of like a Castlevania game that you get stronger as you progress. You get different abilities, but it's also like open-ended to where you get to go where you want. You get to choose the levels that you want to go to. So it's actually pretty cool in that regard. Like, it's got that like dark overtone, like gothic theme. Like, everything's really like dark and dark colors. Nothing's ever really bright and in your face. It's got the crazy like gothic style like NES Super Nintendo music going on. It's just an overall great experience. That's why I really wanted to play back through it one more time. This was one of the first Let's Plays I ever did on an old channel that's kind of defunct. That's why I started up the Daybreaker Reigns LP channel. Since the other channel wasn't ever going anywhere, and that was a project that never took off as well as I wanted it to. So I thought I'd redo my playthrough of this game, because I really do enjoy it, and I like to revisit it, much like I like to revisit most of the Castlevanias and the Metroid games. It's one of those ones that I could just go back to hundreds of times over and still get as much enjoyment out of it, playing it back through like the 30th time that I would playing it through the first time I ever played through it. So definitely expect a lot of this. I think I was able to complete the majority of the game the first time I did this in about 9-10 parts. There is a part that was solely dedicated to a secret optional boss that is available in the game after you beat the game through a password that you gain. And yeah, it was kind of a interesting playthrough. It's probably extremely outdated. My commentary is probably not nearly as good. I hope my commentary definitely is a lot better in these playthroughs than it was in my other playthroughs. And I apologize if the audio does sound a little low. I was having insane issues the other night trying to record the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening part, the first part of that playthrough, where I was hearing the game's audio through my headset, like through my microphone. So I found out that the only way to circumvent this was to literally turn down the volume as low as it can go while I can still hear it. And that's like at 1% volume. So if the recording audio is a little low, I apologize. I'll try my best to kind of bump it up as best as I can in the editor when I'm editing the playthroughs. I've watched your progress, and I'm glad that I shall be the one to put an end to your petty crusade. I believe you have heard of me. I am Arma. I will be your executioner. I also apologize too if my microphone is picking up my controller. I think it did in the last recording, and I apologize about that. But I think that's like a lot of Let's Players. Like, I think that's an inevitable feat. Like, if you can actually get the controller sounds out of your recording, you're a better editor practitioner than I am, because I don't know how to do that without like making like individual like audio files. I don't know. Like, I don't have a program that I don't think I have a program that would allow me to do that in any case. I just use a free recording program. I think a lot of people use Audacity. I use WavePad Sound Editor. See, WavePad to me is a little bit simpler to use than Audacity, but that's just me. You do seem to possess the strength people have been talking about. I look forward to our next encounter. And Mr. Arma flies away. And we get... You have found the Crest of Earth. With it, you can morph into G-Gargoyle and gain great speed and the strength to break stone statues. So after you beat a level, you come to this, which is the overworld map, which I just think is such a cool testament. Like, you know, because this was new. Like, you didn't see stuff like this too often back in the heyday of gaming. You know, you didn't see like too many 3D-esque ways, and I know that there's a way you can view the whole map. There you go. So that's the whole map. So you can view the whole map, and as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are all the different stages that are available currently, but more will open up as you progress through the game. So we want to go to stage 2. And yes, you don't have to play this linear. You don't have to play it in stage order. You can play this game however you deem fit, but I have kind of been the one to realize that it's actually easier to get through the game. It definitely is a challenge, because the first time I played through this, I had no idea where to go. I just decided, oh, wherever the enemies are the weakest is probably the first place I'm supposed to go, which is totally not the case. But I managed somehow. I actually managed to get items that very early in the game, as opposed to getting them way later. I'm not going to spend forever on this. I'm just going to like break a couple of these. But yeah, it's crazy. But if you play it the way it's supposed to be played, where you actually do play it linear, and you actually go through the levels in the correct order, it does make the game easier. That could potentially, you know, to some might take the challenge and the fun out of the game, because, you know, you really want to do the exploration and not really play it linear. Hey, you, haven't seen you around before. Are you a stranger here? Yes. They say that the red demon known as Firebrand has risen. He nearly burnt the demon realm to ashes years ago. If Phalanx had not rescued us, we would all be dead. Thanks to that arrogant fool Firebrand. Take care of yourself. Yeah, but Phalanx is not as good as everybody thinks he is. But we'll get to that. And it definitely is a testament. I think a lot of people know that this game is pretty damn good for the game to command such the price that it does on eBay. Like, it's insane how expensive this game is. But I think a lot of those Super Nintendo games, what I'm seeing, because I am kind of in the know about this kind of stuff, because I keep tabs on it and everything. I've noticed that a lot of the Super Nintendo stuff is starting to slowly but surely raise up in price, and I think that's a lot to do with it's getting harder and harder to probably actually find physical copies of some of these games. So, but that's neither here nor there. I really couldn't tell you exactly what. I mean, that's just kind of all the assumptions that I've been able to gather. Now, the cool thing about the ground gargoyle, which is the gargoyle form that I am now, he is slightly more powerful than regular Firebrand by himself, but his shots are only more powerful if they do the wave attack on the ground. So that's kind of like a big problem with like a lot of, if anything, that's probably the biggest problem with the ground gargoyle is that, for one, he can't glide, which is a huge problem in some areas, especially like as you'll soon see. So you are going to be often or not switching back and forth between the gargoyles, because you won't be able to do certain things with the gargoyles that you have, while others can do other stuff. Like, you know, you get a gargoyle later on who can swim, you get one that can actually fly through the whole map instead of just glide. Which, you would think that Firebrand could fly, that you wouldn't need a separate ability to do that, but, you know, gameplay mechanics would be absolutely broken if Firebrand could just fly outright. He can glide, though, so, I mean, they at least gave him something to do with his wings. At least his wings are not just there for show. It is very possible. I am not, you know, super uber awesome pro mode at this game. I hope nobody's expecting me to be, so I probably will die a couple times. Some of the bosses, I do tend to forget how their patterns work, and it's like one of those weird things where every time I go back to it, like, and there's also that too, like, it's just like one of those weird, you know, you only have so much health at the beginning, so it's like, it's really hard to keep that health. Especially because I hate this part with the bats. Like, everything goes dark, and the bats start waking up. And you constantly have to keep putting these fire on those torches, because if you don't, then the bats start flying around, they latch onto you, and they just drain you of all your health. I don't think the ghosts can be attacked with the normal fire. Doesn't matter anyway. It seems I got through it a lot easier. The good thing is that while we're at the boss now, if I die and I have to continue, I don't need a save state for any reason other than, you know, possibly, you know, picking up where I left off in the recordings for recording's sake. But the bosses are checkpoints, so you can pretty much die as much as you want and still. Oh no, that's probably not good. Yeah, I'm probably totally dead. Yeah. Of all the things to happen. Yeah. Wow, didn't expect that to go down that way, but the game started kind of slowing down there for a minute. Okay, well, let's not be an idiot when I have full health and go for the full health gem. Yeah, that's really helpful. So, like, this game can be completed in probably a sitting if you know what you're doing and you don't take, like... If you've played the game like I have, you know, extensively, you could probably beat this game no prob. I think, actually, I want to say playing as the ground gargoyle is actually more beneficial in this fight, because you have to destroy all these eyeballs, and the thing is that if you miss a fireball, which you're going to, a lot... you have to, it has to go all the way across the screen before you can launch another one. So I think it's actually more beneficial because when you use the ground gargoyle, his shots don't go across the whole screen, so you don't have to wait. The only downside is you can't fly to the other side, so you're kind of stuck on one end trying to dodge these freaking eyeballs. But you can kill them way quicker than you can with the fireball. And they do occasionally drop health, so it's not super bad if you lose all your health, but I'm doing a terrible job showing that off. Oh, please give me that. Ah. Damn, I could have used that. Okay. Now, the big one will come out of his hiding place. I can't remember if the gargoyle is still beneficial in this fight. I think it's actually more beneficial to be just regular Firebrand if my joystick wouldn't stop freaking out. So now I can actually glide away. And since he's a bigger target, it's easier to kind of actually, if I actually do this, I'm gonna be mad if I can't do this. Damn it! Ah, man. It's alright. Yeah, like I said, I'm not pro mode at this game, so I do die quite a bit. Come on, man. Gotta move up faster than that. Yeah, it's easier to kill the eyeballs when you're the ground gargoyle. Definitely. Oh, come on, dude. Can't spend forever on this. The bad thing is that if the health drops into the goop, it's like you really can't grab it. You gotta be really careful because you don't really have much room to escape. Well, that was lovely. Let's get a health item and then, you know, waste said health item getting hit by an eyeball that's in the goop. Well, that's always helpful. I can deal with that. There actually is a legitimately good reason to fight this boss first, because of the item that he does give you. It's kind of like, you know, considering it's like a Capcom game, it's kind of like Mega Man in that regard, as like each boss gives you some sort of power-up. It may not always be the power-up that you want, but you know, you do get a bunch of different abilities that you get to cycle through. Oh my god, I'm gonna die again. Damn it, really? God damn. Damn, that really sucks. I was trying really, really hard that time. I think one big problem I have is that, like, it feels like your recovery time is just, like, minimal, if anything. Maybe I should have actually, like, gone and used my GP. You do have a currency system in this game, and you can spend it on potions and spells. And the one potion that I found that is the only beneficial potion is the ginseng potion, and that gives you full health back. That is the only potion I have ever felt that is truly beneficial. There is a potion, it's okay for probably like the beginning of the game, because it does revive you, but it doesn't revive you with full health. It only heals, I think, about like 5 ticks on your health bar. So when you start getting late into the game, where your health bar is huge, and you die, and you only get 5 hits back, it's really not as beneficial as you once thought it would be. So the ginseng potions are definitely my recommendation for anybody who plays this game, is definitely load up on those things, because you're going to want the full health back, because with the pause menu being the way that it is, you do have that sort of temporary grace period where you can kind of get away from an enemy and heal yourself. So it does kind of work out to have the ginseng potions and just to get yourself You know, especially late game, you just want that full health back, right? As opposed to just 5, hits back. Especially, too, because one of the abilities later grants you armor, so it gives you double the health that you have. So you have 2 hits per tick on your health bar. Okay, if I'd actually pay attention to what the hell I'm doing. Oh, come on. I do like that they get red, like, kind of like in Metroid. Like, so you have, like, some sort of indication of them dying. But, okay. So I did it that time. Thank God. And with that, grants me a piece of the Fire Crest. Got a piece of the Fire Crest called Buster. With it, you could break through stone. So all those little rectangular blocks that you saw me walking by earlier, now I can break those with that ability. But that'll have to wait till the next part, guys. So thank you all for watching. This has been Daybreaker Rein, and I'll catch you all in the next part, guys. Take it easy.